Today, we are going to put on our chef hats, and we are going to play a la carte. It is kind of a dexterity game. We're going to be making dishes, spicing them, getting the heat on our stoves just right, and then serving those dishes, hoping to acquire stars as, quality chefs. So we're going to set this up, tell you how to play it, and then we're going to do some play. So enjoy a la carte. All right, this is a la carte. As you can see, we've got a whole lot of components. First thing you're going to need to do is set up your table like this. You'll have a coffee tray that's going to have these little coffee cup tokens on it. Each player is going to get one of those coffee cup tokens. We'll come back to that later. Each player is going to get one of these little stove tops, which has this dial on it to indicate the temperature. And they're going to get one of these little pans. You'll have a completed dish space for each player. A little board for them to put whatever they've cooked on. Each one of them is also going to get one of these crêpes, which has a recipe for crêpes on the back in the game. You're going to have these two circular pieces. This is the sink. Any used ingredients are going to get dumped there for when you refill containers later. You're going to take the different types of dishes and sort those by color, and set them up like this so that each player can take any dishes they want to make. You also have some star tokens, a trash can where any burnt dishes or otherwise dishes that are overspiced or any of the other things that cause them to be discarded would go here. And you're going to have these 4 little containers. You're going to get a whole bunch of these different tokens that are in here in the box. There are like 20 of them. You put 15 of each colored one in a container, and then 5 of the little white salt crystals in each container. You'll have extras. Those are just in case you lose any, or if you were doing some kind of variant or anything. You'll also have this die. So those are all the components. We've got them all set up out on the table, and we're ready to get each player ready to go. You're going to have these 3 wooden spoon pieces that are there to mark the current player's actions. And you are all set to start playing a la carte. So, in a la carte, what we're trying to do is complete dishes. We've got these 5 different colors, and on the back of them, we have a recipe. It tells us what the name of the dish is, which isn't important. It's flavor text, just like the picture on the front is. It tells us how many victory points it's worth on the front. And then it also tells us on the back this little chef's hat with a 1 in it, or a 2, 3, 4, or 5. As you go up from yellow to blue, they increase in points and in difficulty to complete. Also on the back, you're going to see that you have some number of colored icons. In this case, we've got 2 of the yellow ones. So 2 lemon, which is this container. If you wanted to make this Hawaiian meatloaf, you're going to take it and you put it in your pan with the recipe up so that it's visible, so that you can see what you're doing. You need to put this amount of spice in your pan with it, and you need to get your temperature to the temperature listed in green in that range somewhere. So for this one, we need our temperature to be somewhere between 1 and 3. If it gets to 4, this red number that's surrounded by black, the dish is burnt, and it'll be worthless, and it'll go in the trash later. If we overspice it and put too many things in there that we don't want, then we're also going to waste that dish and not get the points for it. So you'll take this, put it in your pan, and now you have 3 actions with these 3 spoons. Whenever you want to take an action, you'll take one of your spoons, pass it to the player on your left so that they have the first of their 3 actions when it's their turn in a minute. And you tell everybody what you're trying to do. you have 2 different actions that you can take on your turn. You can either roll the die to increase the temperature of your stove. So, well, that's one of the special results. There are 3 normal results, 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 special results. The one with an arrow that's going around in a circle means that everyone's temperature increases 1. So not only will your stove go up, but also all of your opponent's stoves are also going to go up in temperature. 1 to 3 with an arrow under it means you can choose how much you're turning your stove up as long as it's in this range between 1 and 3. The last one is this coffee cup icon. If you roll the coffee cup, it means that you get to draw another one of these coffee cups from the coffee tray. We all started with one of these, so this seems like a great time for us to talk about what coffee cups are about. If you flip them over and look at the back of them, they all have these different icons on them that give you different special actions that you can take on your turn. In the base game, there are 5 different types of tokens that you can get. This one that's a chef's hat with a 1 in it just means that you're going to get an extra victory point at the end of the game. The one with 3 spoons means that you can take an extra full turn, so you get all 3 of the spoons back when you use it. This one that shows a dial being turned down means that you can turn your stove down. If this means that your stove goes from being burnt to being safe, it means that you have saved it. So in the instance of this meatloaf here, if my heat climbs to 4 and the dish is burnt and will be destroyed, I could play this to turn it back down to 3. We have this one that shows one of these spice containers over a pot. That means that you get to take a spice action, but you get to do it to someone else's dish. And we'll come back to how this spice action works in just a minute. And then here we've got 2 stoves that are being swapped. This means that you swap stoves, entire stoves, with another player. So this is the one that we actually started with, and then we drew this spice one, so we've got both of those as this player right now. So we'll come back to these in just a minute. Our first action was to roll that die. We got a coffee cup. We'd roll it again, and let's say we get 2. We get 2. So we turn up our temperature, and now our meatloaf is simmering along nicely in our pan. We've used 2 of our actions. And our third action is going to be to spice, because we need to try to get lemon in for our meatloaf to be done now. And we want it to be done. This is the key mechanic here in a la carte. This spice container. It's full of all these little tokens. You know, you've got the lemon and you've got the salt. They're this irregular shape, so they kind of get caught on each other. The mouth is pretty small. And so, as you're going to see when we play this, you're going to have a lot of frustration trying to get these pieces out when you want them in the correct amount. The rules are very clear that you are required to do your spicing action in one smooth motion. You can't, for example, take this container and shake it over the top to try to get what you want out of it. You have to take it and then in one action drop things in. One smooth motion of over and down. That's your spice action. Ideally, you want to only get the things that are marked on the back of your recipe. So in this case, I took my spice action. I got 1 lemon and 1 salt. Salt is useless in this game. All it does is junk up your recipes. I need to get 2 lemon. I've only got 1, so this dish is not complete. So it's going to sit here and simmer along until my next turn, because that was my third action. On my next set of actions, I'm probably going to try to get this second lemon in. But let's say that whatever my opponent's doing over here, they, you know, pick something that's pretty difficult to do. One of these things is worth more points. And manage to have it perfect and ready to go. All it needs is the temperature to hit the right spot. You can take a coffee break at any time. It does not use one of your 3 actions. On your turn, you just say, I'm going to take a coffee break, and you get to use one of your cups. You can only do this once on any of your actions. If you use this 3-spoon one to get a second set of 3 actions after your first set of 3 actions, you do not get to take a coffee break during your second set of 3 actions also. Only this first one. So let's say I go ahead and use this swap stoves one. Maybe I try to spice this and I get another salt in it, and I'm really worried that I'm going to screw this dish up. And he's got this dish that is perfect. It's so close to being ready. So I'm going to swap whole stoves with him. Take my stove, and we swap places. You cannot swap dishes that are burnt, overspiced, or already complete, because they would have just been scored. So I'm going to take that action. We're going to put this used cup here on the coffee cup tray face up on that side. This isn't really important, but it's a thing. Whatever dish he was preparing here, say I finish it, I score the points. So here, I'm just going to take one of these green ones and just say, boom, there. I prepared it, and it was perfect. What that means is, on the back here, it says that I need 1 lemon and 1 pepper. If I have exactly that in my pan, so there's 1 lemon, and here is 1 pepper. I don't have any salt. I just have the things it asks for. I'm at the temperature at once, so there I'm at 4. This is ready to go. I take it off. I score the dish. I put the spices there in the sink so that we can refill our containers later. And because it was perfect, I get one of these stars. If anybody manages to collect 3 stars, they win the game. It ends immediately. That's it. Otherwise, you're trying to prepare one of each dish, and the game will end as soon as somebody has prepared 5 dishes, 1 in each color: yellow, orange, green, red, and blue. That may not be possible, though. You may burn some dishes and they're out of the game, and it's not possible to get to all 5 of these colors. If that happens, when you're choosing a dish, you can't choose the color that you've already taken. So I can't take another green dish now because I've already completed a green dish. If everything else is empty and there are only green dishes left, then I can take green dishes to prepare. So let's choose a new dish. I'm going to actually choose the dish that every player starts with and has the option of preparing. They're crêpe. You can drop this into your pan. When you do, your turn immediately ends. If you still have any of these spoons left, you pass them to the next player. You don't get to take any more actions. You are preparing to make your crêpe. Your crêpe's worth 5 points. The blue ones are worth 5 points. So the crêpe is one of the more valuable dishes in the game. Over here, our other player takes this spice action because he's trying to finish this dish that I have given him. And he shakes this thing around and he says, okay, I've got to get the lemon out, but I don't want to get any of this salt because I already have 2 salt in this pan. In a la carte, a dish is defined as overspiced if it has 3 of a single spice in it at any time. So if we end up with 3 salt in here, 3 lemon, or anything else, if we had 3 of one of these in it for some reason, that would ruin this dish. It'd be overspiced. We'd have to throw it in the trash, put the spices in the sink. So he takes the spice action, and he, in one smooth motion, drops it in, and oh no! Look at all that spice. You got 4 salt, 3 lemon. It's completely overspiced. So, this goes right in the trash. Nobody can eat that meatloaf. Spices get dumped there. Resets his stove. And he chooses a new dish. Some dishes don't require heat. Some are salads. So like this chocolate mousse, for example, a dessert. Temperature 0. It will burn at 1. Why you are preparing this on the stove, no one knows. But you are. So he chooses this. He needs to get 1 lemon, 1 chili, and needs to have no temperature on his stove. So he's not going to roll that die, and he's hoping that nobody rolls that 1 that causes everybody's temperature to increase, because that will burn his mousse. The crêpe is a different type of recipe, too. It doesn't require any spices. There are a few recipes that are like this in the game. If a recipe doesn't require any spices, you just need to get the temperature right, and then in crêpes you have another special condition. So crêpes, anywhere between 1 and 6, the temperature is fine. So as long as you don't get all the way to 7, you're good. The thing that happens with crêpes is that you have to pick up your pan and you have to flip it. And when you do so, you need it to come up and land with that image face up. So for 1 spoon, you get to make 1 attempt at flipping it. So I had 1 attempt there. I'm going to try it again. Oh, see, I'm terrible at this. Last attempt. Oh, that was close. So if you're trying to prepare your crêpe, that's what you're trying to do. As soon as you get it flipped face up and have the right temperature, it is a completed dish. I'll just throw it at you. As soon as you have it flipped and your stove is anywhere in that 1 to 6 range, your crêpe is finished, and you can set it off to the side as a scored dish too. Dishes that don't have a spice requirement can never be perfectly prepared, so you can never get a star for something that doesn't require spices, like your crêpe or a handful of these other recipes, particularly the lower end value ones. The only other thing that we need to talk about for a la carte is refilling our spice containers. Sooner or later, all of these spices are going to end up out. When they do, you're going to gather all of the spices that are in the sink. So let's say, some of these are out in people's pans. Some of the salt. What we're going to do is take 5 salt crystals, just like we were talking about for setup at the start of the game, and then take as much lemon as we have available in the sinks. Pick all of that up, and we're going to put that back in. You always just want to make sure that your distribution's right. That you have 5 salt crystals, and then 15 minus however many are out there of whichever color goes into each container. The game ends with somebody getting 3 stars. Somebody preparing 5 dishes. Your crêpe does not count toward these 5 dishes. Or if you get to a point where no one can take another dish. So if you just have an unlucky run and say everybody burns a whole bunch of these yellow ones, so there's just no chance that anybody's going to cook 5 things. Everybody's only going to cook 4 plus their crêpe. As soon as somebody can't take a new thing from the middle, the game ends. That's a la carte. All right.
Who's the starting player?
It says choose a starting player.
Who is, I don't know, who thinks they're the best at cooking?
I think Heather's the best at cooking. So.
Well, sounds like you get those spoons.
I get
All
these
right.
spoons. All right.
So, Heather, you are going to choose a dish that you wish to attempt to prepare. it looks like they increase in difficulty from these level 1s to 2, 3, 4, 5 to 5.
So, do I just take the top of the stack, or can I?
It says set them aside, sorted by color, and you choose.
Are they all the same, maybe?
They are not all the same.
Oh.
They have different.
They have different condiments, but they're all like the same difficulty.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, you know, like, if you're like, oh dang, I definitely want to make octopus, make octopus.
Okay.
But you know.
I'm gonna go for 4 little pigs in a blanket.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna put that recipe side up in your pan,
Yep.
and you have 3 spoons for 3 actions. Heather, what do you want to do?
Action number 1, I'm going to turn up my.
Heat things up.
Yeah. Which is number 2.
All right. So you're up at power level 2. Where are you trying to get?
Between 1 and 3. So.
Oh,
it's
that sounds good. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so now I'm gonna season.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 smooth motion. That is the requirement. No shaking once it's over.
1.
Okay.
2.
Okay. How do you feel about your seasoning?
It's perfect because I need 2 little herbs,
Okay.
and it's.
I believe that means that you have completed that dish. Put it there. You put the spices in the sink so that we can use them to refill. And you still have 1 action.
Is seasoning, is it 1 action to do it twice, or is it 1?
Oh yeah, no, I technically
Should
seasoned
2.
twice.
Oh, you're right.
I
you used both your
seasoned
actions.
twice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I didn't put
Never
the
mind.
spoon in the middle.
So.
But since I had it perfect with the 2, that means I get a star.
Oh yeah. You get a star for a perfect dish.
Yeah.
Because you had the exact number of condiments
I did.
without any salt.
Yes.
Congrats.
Perfect.
You made a really easy thing.
Yep.
Yep.
You have completed a dish, so you choose a new dish.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go for number 2.
You can't choose yellow.
You reset your knob to 0. And play proceeds to the player on your left. So you get these 3 spoons. Okay. You will choose a dish of whatever color you wish to make.
And I guess now you know that whatever you choose, if it requires a green, you're more likely to get salt in the green container.
Yeah. Good point.
And we'll point out that both she and I started with the 1 point coffee cup, so we just put it on our thing as like we're just doing.
As
that.
you just have 1 point. Yep.
It just means that if you had rolled a die and got a coffee cup, you wouldn't be able to. You would have had to choose when using the 1 point.
The hamburger.
Okay.
So I'll roll for temperature.
Okay. Okay, so you're up to 1, and Sean gets a spoon.
Oh.
Alright. I need to increase the temperature some more.
Okay.
2.
2, you're up to 3.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And so pass another spoon.
Here's another spoon, sir. Now I will season.
Okay.
Assume this is the pepper.
Yep, black looks like pepper. Alright, here it goes. Okay, that goes in.
Good.
Anything that falls out of your pan goes in your pan. So.
Oh, this also goes in my pan?
Yep. So pick that up and put it in.
Oh, okay.
How are you doing?
I'm completed, though it's not perfect.
Okay. Well, then you have completed that dish. You don't get a star, but you will score it at the end of the game.
Okay. Good, because I only need 1 pepper.
Yep. So put that down. Put that in there. Choose a new recipe and play proceeds to Sean.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then put that pepper back out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna make a shot at tart flambe.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so we start out by heating things up.
Okay. Oh, and reset your stove, Walker, to 0.
1
to 3, so you can choose.
We're gonna shoot it up to 3.
Okay. Just all the way up there.
Yeah, we're gonna go for the red pepper shaker.
Okay.
Come on, salt, get out of there.
It does beg the question, why do we store?
Oh!
Oh no!
I guess I'm taking a second action to do that again.
Okay.
Well,
that sounded like 3 things. Is that 3 red ones?
that's over-seasoned.
Okay,
So-
well, that goes right in the trash.
Is it 3 more than it needs, or is it literally just 3?
of anything.
As soon as it has 3 of
As
anything.
soon as it's 3, it's in the garbage.
Yep. It has 3 of one color.
Well, there you go.
Yep, that is out.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I gave myself 1 big point with my coffee cup.
you can decide what you want to cook next. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cook a level 1 thing down here. Oops. Let's go ahead and make Hawaiian style meatloaf.
Nice.
Oh.
With, I guess, just meatloaf with a
Spam?
piece of pineapple on it.
Oh, I thought I was opening a can of Spam.
Maybe.
Maybe.
All right, let's see here. We're gonna try to heat things up. 2. That is just right. Get it going. All right, let's try to season this with a little bit of lemon. Just a little. I think it's gonna be good. No, that's a little too little.
That was pretty bad, yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I am having trouble getting lemons out of this, and that's you.
Alrighty. I am doing postmodern coffee, which has no seasoning.
Okay.
However, I need to get it to number 7.
Okay. Lots of
number
heat.
1.
One for everybody.
Goes up 1.
It'd be real sad if you burn my meatloaf here.
You
Heather.
screw up my not worse than we pissed. It's very sensitive.
I'm going to go up 1. And...
Okay, 1 to 3. So you're choosing 3 and going to 5.
Yep. Not as...
My turn now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roll the die. Heat it up.
Coffee cup.
Coffee cup.
Okay, so you get to draw a coffee cup from the coffee tray and put it face up in front of you. You can take that as your coffee break anytime you want to.
So it's switching burners or something?
That's switching stoves. Let's see what that one says exactly. Exchange stoves. The player exchanges his stove, including pan and dish, with another player of his choice. Both players then continue playing with their new stoves. Burned or overspiced dishes and stoves with crepes cannot be exchanged.
Very good. All right. Well, I gotta heat this some more.
Okay.
It sounds like it's burned.
3. That's a long ways up. Is that too high? Is that good?
Nope. It is burnt.
Oh, well, you have burnt that food, sir. Go ahead and put that right in the trash.
You're not worst.
It's all your fault, honey.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. It doesn't say that he loses his action.
Yeah.
So,
Hey!
Coffee cup.
have a coffee cup.
Coffee break.
Do you want to take a coffee break?
Well, this is interesting. I can decrease...
Your temperature?
Your temperature. So you can take a coffee break to use that to decrease your temperature.
So it won't be ruined.
That's
Right.
correct.
All right, so I'll drop it down to 3, so it's saved.
Okay.
As long as someone doesn't roll a 1 and burn it again.
Yeah.
You still
Okay.
have to season it, right?
I still have to season it, so
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
this probably saves me some amount of time.
Alright. Well, let's see how this goes. Because now I would have dumped my thing, and now I'm starting this.
Yeah, so technically you're at 0. Sure.
Yeah, I guess.
She raised your temperature,
Yeah,
you
sure.
didn't. So now you're up at 1. Coffee cup.
Oh, coffee cup. I got that. The respice one lets me make someone else.
Oh, yeah. You can spice someone else's dish.
Yeah. Okay.
We gotta start messing Heather up, you guys. Look at that lead she's got going already.
Oh,
2 points up.
I'm gonna give
Just
the
like
lemons a shot.
steam.
And has a star. Like,
Oh, yeah. But I can't get a star from this dish.
Okay.
oh, that yellow spice. What is
all right.
It's lemon zest?
Yeah,
Lemon
it's
zest.
Lemon zest.
Ah, the lemon zest.
Oh.
Yeah. You got one in there.
There's one. It's one.
Is that what you need?
No, I need two.
Uh-oh. Look out. This is a doozy.
It's primed now.
No
You
shaking.
can't shake over the
I'm not trying to shake it. My hand is shaking. I'm trying to...
Oh, it's overspiced, I think.
Damn it!
You gotta keep it in the pan until you
Oh,
get next turn.
Alright. And then I guess I'll roll the die for my third action.
Turn up the heat.
Just burn it too. Why not? Yeah, go for it. Take that, Hawaiian-style meatloaf.
Alright. So
And
I
your
roll the
lemon
die.
zest and your pineapple. Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's very disrespectful. And
1-3.
And I turn it up 2, which means I complete my postmodern coffee.
Yep. You don't get a star because it doesn't have any spices.
Perfect. So there's my 2 completed dishes.
Okay.
So now I pick another dish.
You pick another dish.
No, I'm gonna go finer here.
No.
You are setting yourself up for us hitting you with
It's
some
going to be a disaster.
extra spicy.
Yeah. Just a whole lot of
That's
extra
right.
spice coming for you.
Yeah.
It's my turn now? Or no?
She's got 2 actions, so she's going to use at least one of those.
I'm gonna
to heat.
do elephant's trunk and spinach dressing.
Oh, okay.
Gotta turn your pan down. Don't burn it.
Yeah. Start that pan over.
Okay. And I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
1.
Okay. Second action. Third action.
I'm gonna roll again.
3. Dangerous.
You still on tolerances of...
Elephant trunk takes a long time. You gotta saute that at a high temperature. Let it broil.
I see.
Yep.
Get all that.
I was expecting it's more low and slow.
Get all that fatty tissue to
Yeah.
break down.
Yeah.
You gotta get a good sear on
I
it,
thought
though.
you had to smoke it.
Oh.
Okay. Red spice, here we come. What is this? Pepper?
That's gonna be
Paprika?
probably like chili.
Oh yeah, chili. It's like a
Chili powder? That'd be my guess.
yeah.
Let's see.
It's
It
like
is...
Chili pepper.
Oh, paprika.
Paprika.
Lemon, pepper, paprika, and herbs are the 4 spices.
Oh, alright.
Too bad.
Every time. I don't know if slow or fast is better. I can't figure it out. Oh!
That one goes in too.
Alright. Well, we're fine. We're fine, guys. Don't worry.
Is it good?
Still good. I just need to add a little pepper to this.
Oh, okay. One more action for pepper.
More action for pepper.
Alright. Let's see that pepper.
Hey.
Oh!
Oh,
That
nice.
that looks like a completed dish.
It's a completed
Is it
dish.
a perfect dish?
No, it has salt on it.
It's salt and a little extra paprika. But you know what? I kind of
Sure,
like
that
it
all-
spicy.
I'll balance this
Fair.
out.
That's fair.
Put it-
Let's see.
My not worst is done.
Confirm. When
Done.
we refill.
When there's
Is it 5 when it's empty, or
That's what I'm checking to see if it's
5?
if it's when it hits a certain count that we try to refill it. Refill a condiment container must be refilled as soon as it is empty or only has salt crystals, and then whatever's available in the sinks goes into it.
So, trying to yellow some more.
Oh,
Okay.
perfect.
What you wanted?
That's what I wanted. Trying the green.
Oh, so many complicated notes in this.
Green again.
Okay.
All right. There we go.
Whew.
lemon and herb, that's a good
I'm gonna use my spicer on you, so I'm gonna have you dump some of the.
Oh, you get to do it. In
Yeah.
fact.
Oh,
You get to
is
do
that how it is?
Yep.
Pick
Here,
one.
I know you want one of everything, but
Yeah,
like,
so-
read this text to you so you have the exact wording of what that does.
since I'm bad at dumping things, it's good. That works
The
out.
active player may season the dish of another player of his choice
I didn't
once.
pick my...
You do it at the start of your turn.
You can use any
I just thought I was trying
condiment,
to pick one. Okay.
even one that already has 2 pieces in the pan. Dish is considered overspiced as soon as it has 3 or more of a single thing.
Go with just red. We got so much red sitting in the sink over there. Is that what you wanted?
2. I want one of each, so it will not be perfect.
But
I accomplished.
Walker
my
could use his later to now screw her up.
Somebody else
Okay.
puts some
That
pepper.
is me with my disaster.
Yep.
I'll just go ahead and
Dump that in the sink.
dump those there. I'm just gonna toss that.
Trash.
Yeah,
One
that's
sound.
that's not gonna get done.
It's like
Um,
a slice of Spam with a piece of
with
pineapple.
a piece of pineapple.
American
That's what it
cheese.
looks like.
Oh, it's great.
Let's see. I'm gonna make whatever this is. Change my mind.
The Cuban coffee is one of the.
Wow, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got
Let's
it
make
at
some
7.
let's make some Cubano coffee.
Good.
Coffee
Good
Cubano.
job, yeah, there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Let's roll that die. Where's that die? Oh, all the way over there. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. 1 to 3. Oh, all the way up. 1 for everybody.
Don't even know if that's good.
3. Oh. That Cuban coffee, ready to come right off. Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Boom.
Nicely done. All right. And what was your coffee?
He gets to take an extra turn.
I can take an extra turn whenever I want to, basically.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Time for me to season.
Okay.
Start with some herbs.
I'm getting close to trying to make my crepe.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
Sorry,
it.
when do we...
You choose to make your crepe instead of a dish.
Instead of a dish.
Is it just like a wild card so you can
It's-
skip one, or?
It's points if you don't think you're going to get to the 3-star thing.
Man.
okay.
Did you overseason?
Or
No.
if
Crystals?
I'm close, but I have 2 salt crystals in
that's a
there.
lot of salt.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
that's getting pretty salty.
I don't
in
think
there.
this elephant trunk is gonna make it,
No.
guys.
No.
Walker, what are you doing?
I need to select a dish.
Okay. Or you can make your crepe.
Well, I won't do the one that's 0 temperature.
Oh.
Um,
Does it burn at 1? Is that what it says?
Yep. There's a few that burn at 1, so we'll skip those.
Just like a salad, and you like.
Yeah, you're just like making it on the stove, and then Heather's like, oh, I gotta turn this oven up here. Oh, you ruined my salad! It's all wilted. What's wrong with you?
I'm gonna spin the spoon.
Okay.
We got 2. That's unfortunate, because now I'm at 3.
Oh.
I need to go a little bit higher, you guys.
Uh-oh. Are you gonna roll it, or are you gonna season and hope that somebody else bumps your heat up? Are you
No,
gonna
that's a
coffee
good-
break?
No, that's a good idea, you know. I think
letting someone else possibly bump you up is the best way to go.
Yeah, I would definitely
think-
use your
I
action to
agree.
seasoning, and then see if it's just done by the time it gets to your turn.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, a little salt. That looked like that was good.
Spice of life, huh?
Yeah. Oh, a little more salt, some pepper.
I'm fine, you guys.
Is that 2 salt, 2 pepper? 2 salt,
Yeah.
1 pepper?
Yeah, 2 salt, 2 pepper.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I saw full in there.
It's okay. It's fish and chips. It's
Yep.
kind of fungible.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Just a little dash of lemon zest. Now.
Yeah,
That'd be perfect.
exactly. It'll be nice and fresh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm raising the temp.
Yeah.
Oh, 4, 5. Yeah,
Okay.
that's where we needed to be.
Okay.
That dish is completed.
Oh,
So
go to,
kipper and spinach.
go to mark that
Kipper and spinach.
Yeah.
Wow, you did a blue dish, huh?
Yeah. He decided he had to jump ahead into the real boys.
I was not getting anything else done, so that's just how it goes. There's only 1 yellow remaining, so I guess I'll snap that out. That oxtail,
Yeah.
looking good with its 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
So my second thing will be to try to season it with red.
Okay.
It's good. And roll that die one more time.
Okay. See if you can get that perfect heat.
1 for everybody.
Oh. Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
Now I just need to not put salt in my.
All right. So that's gonna be me. I'm gonna choose my new dish. I think I'm gonna stay in big territory and try to make one of these 5s also, so that I can get some points for when things go bad. I'm gonna make drunken chicken.
All right. I
Hawk.
think you need to turn down your burner.
Alvin.
Yeah.
Thanks. Just throw it on there, hot off the making Cuban coffee action.
Uh-huh.
1. Try to get some pepper. Good. 2. Try to get some paprika. Okay. 3. Try to get some lemon. Ooh. Woo!
Little dash.
Just a dash more than I wanted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a coffee break
Yeah,
and take 3 more actions. I'm gonna try to put some herbs in there. See if I can. See if I can shake this a little. See if I can get not salt on top of this. That would be good. Just all that salt sitting on top. Yeah. Okay, so I just need 1 of these. That didn't happen. Try it again. Ooh, okay. Okay, that is spiced. I'm gonna heat it. 1 for everybody.
Oh no, my elephant trunk burns.
It's your turn. Your food is burned.
My
Enjoy it,
elephant.
sucker. Dump it in the sink.
Goodbye, elephant trunk.
Does she have to keep it though for the rest of her turn? Or
No,
no?
it's dead at the start of her turn. It doesn't
Okay.
cost you an action to swap things. It's just telling you at the end of your turn, if your thing is burnt, it stays until it comes back around you.
I see.
So that if somebody tries to do a thing like if the temperature goes up, it doesn't mess with your new dish. If
okay.
Somebody tries to swap things with you, they can't
They
because
can't.
you have a burned thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason.
You're
I think there.
limiting your.
Yeah, you're just sitting there going, why?
I'm going to try
I
to
should have
create
stayed a sous chef.
Your crepe.
my crepe.
All right, put it in there face up.
Okay, and then action 1 is to turn up my burner.
Okay. 3.
Alright.
That sounds pretty good for a crepe.
Yeah. And then action 2.
Flip it.
Here goes the flip. Here goes the flip.
Oh! First try!
Oh,
5 points.
that is a completed dish.
Thank you.
What would you like
Delicious.
to pick out for your new thing? Can't believe that was a first try flip on a crepe.
Well, we're not living up to that.
I told you,
Well,
Heather is the best cook.
I'm gonna go for calzone Al Capone.
Oh, dang, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I wonder what you put in a calzone Al Capone.
Dynamite, apparently. I don't know why. Oh, and then it's.
Yep. Reset your temperature.
You know, everybody's rolling so much. I'm gonna season.
Okay.
What I have.
Okay.
Peppers. Looking like a safer bet than others.
Very good.
Very nice. Alright. Your turn.
Alright. Well, just need some lemon.
Okay.
So let's zest it, you guys.
Sounds good. Nice and zesty.
There's kind of a lot of
notes. Yeah, there's a lot of salt in
a lot
there.
of salt in there. It's very questionable.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder how we store our spices, right? That
Oh, okay. It's safe. It's maxed out in the seasoning, but we are done.
okay.
So we'll take this out.
Nice.
Not perfect,
Oh,
but
it is delicious.
Now you get a new dish with.
Yeah, you just need blue and
Blue and green. Oh no, blue and red. Yeah.
Are
You better take that last blue one before it disappears.
Should.
Yeah.
Oh, should. Let's see what it is. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll do this. Yeah, I'm gonna start seasoning right away.
Okay.
I need some red.
Okay. A little paprika for that octopus.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a little salt too. It's okay. Like octopus, you definitely gotta have salt.
Yeah, you gotta have
So,
some.
you know.
It loosens it up. It's real tough meat.
Yeah.
That's one.
Just one.
Good.
Looking for two.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Go ahead and put that back in. Yeah, you're just kind of shaking it, trying to get it
There we are.
to a place where you didn't just have salt sitting on top of all of it. Oh.
All right. Well, this might be my finest work.
You're really coming along. We
Yeah.
might promote you to sous chef.
Right.
All right,
Two.
that's done.
Oh.
Oxtail. Not very good, but
Oxtail on
It's worth a point.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
What do you want to make now?
I'll work on whatever this is. Sweet and sour sausage.
Okay.
Can't decide if that'd be really good or disgusting.
Definitely delicious.
Okay.
As someone who has, on many an occasion, taken leftover sweet and sour sauce from Chinese food and used it to cook sausages in a crock pot, it is delightful.
Okay. That's a good idea.
There you go.
Sean really likes it when I use the leftover orange sauce from our favorite orange chicken.
Oh, no, that's a great idea right there.
All right, I'm going to heat this thing up.
Fantastic.
I got to kick it up a notch, you know.
Kick it.
Bam.
Yes,
Bam.
right.
3. That is perfection. That chicken is drunk.
Ooh, wow.
Was it perfect?
I mean, I overshot on spices.
But
I didn't have the
You
exact
don't
spice thing.
deliberately throwing around the word perfection
It's
when you're
perfection. It's perfection.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little hyped, but.
Yeah, it's a little bit hyped, but you know, it is what it is. Man, if I'm gonna catch up to Heather here,
You better go for a red.
I was wondering if I gotta just jump into my crepe, but I think I'm gonna do the red first. What do I got here for red? I can make hippo in burgundy or rabbit a la king.
Yep. I think you gotta go with hippo.
I'm pretty curious to try making hippo. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna make hippo. So there's still rabbit a la king out there that Sean wants to make, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's why he tried to get me off of that one. I'm gonna spice this up with some pepper. Oh, thank you. Oh, dang it.
Oh, sounds like you're. I'll allow it.
Second action. Ooh, salt. Oh wow.
Yeah.
You need a little salt with hippo. It's okay. It's okay. There you go. That's you.
all right. I'm going to get my herbs on.
Ooh.
Oh, was that perfect for that? No.
No. And then I'm going to get some paprika, but I don't have any salt in it yet, so which is good because this paprika is getting a little salty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking.
Not over.
Okay.
Now, I just gotta try to heat this.
That last piece of paprika that's in there that somebody's gonna need.
Come on.
One for
Everybody.
One for everybody.
Oh no.
That's why I waited till the end to
Yep.
keep mine.
Yep.
Yep. Well, all right. Your turn.
Okay.
Alright. Gotta keep on the seasoning train.
Yeah, when we first opened this, I definitely thought those wooden spoons were gonna be us having to like stir things around in our pans, and I was like, oh dang.
I'm gonna heat it up. One is an unfortunate amount. 2. It's up to 4. It's a perfect dish, you guys.
Oh,
It's
is it?
literally
You get a star?
perfect.
Yeah, it's literally perfect.
Here you
No
go.
hype involved, exactly the
Here's
right
your
seasoning.
star.
Thank you, thank you. I
Good
told you to do my
job.
finest work.
You know,
Wow.
proud of you. You would have been my second pick as best friend, so...
He is pretty good.
I'm glad I'm second. Not,
I've had Walker's,
Third.
you know, burgers and whatnot.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
yeah.
I mean, some portion of that was, you know, the spicing and mixing that
Oh
Heather
yeah, I
was in
always make
charge
sure
of.
that
Yeah.
really spice it.
So,
Walker spice has the spices down too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
oh man, I really wish I'd had a camera on that, because that was perfect.
Well, it was one motion, and guess what? My sweet and sour sausage is not up to code, so that's not but I leave it in for the rest of my turn, right? So
Well, it says it stays in your until your next turn. So on your turn, you can choose to take a new dish at any time. So you can just dump that and start it.
Since you have 2 actions.
You have 2
left.
actions, so
Yeah.
go ahead and do that. Just like, okay, I didn't get anything, and then it's just to put it back. Tick, 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 tick. And we're just like, oh, heartbreak.
Told you that yellow zest is screwy. Get it all at once.
Back down to 0 on your.
So how do we complete this now if we can't do one of each?
Okay, so at that point, you are now going to choose any recipe to cook.
Okay.
It can be something that you've already got that color of, and you're just looking for the point victory at this point when we run out of things.
So when we run out of recipes.
Because
game will
the
be over.
third thing that ends the game is somebody can't take a recipe.
Okay.
So I would say,
okay.
you know, cook a green thing, cook your crêpe, whatever you think is going to get
Looks
you.
like it's crêpe time.
Whatever you think is going to get you up in points to be over Heather when she gets there.
All right.
Since I think we're all agreed she's in the lead.
Well, you guys have finished a 5er. So
That's
if
true.
you guys finish your crêpe, you would.
That's true.
be, But if you're stuck with
Yep,
your crêpe
yep.
in your pan.
Right now,
Yeah.
it is still pretty tight. You can still
Yeah.
get in there. Okay, so I need to heat this up a little bit. So let's go ahead and do that so that my hippo... Oh, I still need some lemon, actually. Let's do lemon zest first.
Glad I'm done with
How much
seasoning.
salt? How much salt? Oh, there's 1 salt.
Working
Okay,
my
so
crisp now.
gotta get not 2 pieces of salt to drop out of this, and not all 3 yellow all 3 yellows. If I succeed at that, I can make this. Okay. That was salt.
What's salt?
Second action. Come on, hippo and burgundy sauce. There's only 2 pieces of salt left in this lemon. I just want the lemon.
Oh, nice.
That's slow and steady sometimes. It's
Yeah.
the only way to do it.
Very good.
Alright, so then heats. And I will go and reroll. 1 to 3 is perfection. So boom. Heat that.
Again, you
It is
throw around the
cooked.
word perfection.
I do throw around the word perfection because you know what? Hippo and Burgundy needs exactly 2 salt. That's perfect for Hippo and Burgundy. If you disagree, you're an idiot as a customer, and you can leave my restaurant.
Do these stars count for points?
The stars, if you get 3 stars, you win.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a just secondary way of the game ending faster.
Sure.
I'm gonna roll.
Which is pretty clever, actually. Like
Yeah, I think it's cool.
having
Sweet.
a game like this
Go up
where
to-
cooking 5 things could take too long. Like, it's probably what's going to happen for you unless you're pretty good at the game.
Right.
But having that, like,
Finish.
faster thing if somebody's just like running away with it and just smashing everyone else. Like, okay, the game ended. I think that's a good thing to do. So
I finished my calzone al Capone.
delicious. Did it explode?
With the
dynamite, you know?
No, not it. That's for the
Oh, they light it out there at the table. It's like
it's like a fajita.
yeah.
Comes out sizzling. Everyone's like, I want that. Why did I order that?
Yeah. I'm not keeping the chocolate mousse in while you guys.
Like
Why did I get the bean burrito? Damn it.
Like one of those flambe dishes where they come out and
Oh.
they're like, and here's your bananas Foster, sir, and then they just like throw a,
Yeah, it's like
Molotov cocktail in it and it explodes and you're like, okay.
come out and napalm your
Okay.
creme brulee.
Got some slasher spaghetti here. Ooh, but it means I need the last paprika.
Oh, that last paprika. I mean, at least there's only 2 salt in there. Like you can't.
That's true. So
as
I'll
long
start
as
with my
as long as you don't get salt out of the herbs or the pepper, you'll be fine.
Whoa, okay. A little bit.
A little over on
Okay.
that, but that's okay.
A little aggressive.
Let's see. Well, I guess I'm picking.
Wow.
one.
Excellent job.
Thank you. Okay, your turn.
One gonna be.
Alright, it's time for...
Don't forget, you can't use both of these on the same turn, so whenever you go to use them.
Yeah. If you want to use them, you need to use them. So.
Oh, that means the paprika goes back.
Yeah, refill.
Yeah.
Refill
Yeah.
it.
So
five
5
salt.
salt crystals and then all the paprika.
There's salt. Salt.
And then we'll shake it up real good and make sure it's mixed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the crêpe is my best
Crepe is not a bad choice.
option at the moment. I don't feel like ruining any of you guys.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to try to flip it right now.
Okay.
That was a fail. But it's 2 for 1 action, right? Or is it?
I think it's just 1. But I will take a look at the crate flipping section real fast to verify.
Okay, loose.
Active player may choose to put a crepe in his pan instead of a new dish. May only attempt to cook 1 crepe during the game. Ends your turn. Player places the crepe with its recipe side face up in his pan. This immediately ends that player's turn. All remaining spoons go to the next player in order. All remaining actions this turn are lost. When it is that player's turn again, he will try to repair the crepe.
Okay. Alright.
So it's like a last thing if you... So, do you, knowing that, do you want to take that last green recipe and try to cook it?
Yeah, maybe I'll give it.
Yeah. Instead of just losing your whole turn to take a crepe.
Yeah, I might as well.
Because if you complete that, then you could do your crepe as your last thing, as your last action.
Chocolate mouse.
Okay.
No temperature, just seasoning. Give me the hard part. The zest is what breaks people.
Yep, the zest is rough. Whew, what'd you get?
Still okay. I got all of it.
Okay, let's refill that salt. Or that lemon zest.
Was it coming and then a little bit further?
Yep.
Dump. Okay. 2, 3, 4. You know what? That's fine.
Okay, there's those. That salt is in there. Is that oversalted?
Yeah, it's oversalted.
Oh, just right in the trash, Walker.
Yeah.
But then you can put
But then your
crepe
final
in.
action could be, I'm going to put my crepe in. And that ends your turn.
Yeah, so nothing really lost there.
That is you.
Yeah.
So it is worth noting, if the game gets to Heather and she finishes her current thing, the game will just end.
Okay.
Because she doesn't have anything she can choose to take.
Okay.
I'm not positive if, like, Sean and I can choose to take our crepe if there's nothing out there, but
Okay.
I would say, yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay, I am gonna spice. I need a little bit of pepper here. Let's see if I can get. I don't like that. Don't like that. Come
Oh,
on.
that was.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know. You guys can rule on that if I need to pick those back up or not. Up to you. Up to you.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay. And then I need some herbs. And you know what? I can have all of that. So there.
Beautiful.
Done. Have your fresh fish stew.
Delicious.
And then I choose to put my crepe in my pan. And this gets refilled.
Okay. So my seasoning is complete.
Okay.
Okay. So, I'm down a spoon.
Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Okay.
So you're trying to just raise your temperature?
Between 4 and 5.
Okay.
It's a narrow band.
2. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, coffee.
Okay. You get a cup of coffee.
Ooh, 3 more.
If you want to take a coffee break, remember that's not an action. So you can always.
I mean, you'll probably just wait and see what you roll.
Yeah. So that seems like you can probably just do that.
Oh.
You're gonna take your coffee. Oh,
Well, my
that was 3.
Oh yeah, so I take my coffee break.
Okay. So you get those 3 spoons back. One for everybody.
Oh, but that's just fine. I finished my slasher spaghetti.
Okay.
I cannot take a recipe, so the game is over.
Okay.
Ends
Game
immediately.
ends when a player is unable to place a new dish in his pan. Count your victory points. If there's a finished dish in your pan, you score the victory points. If it's an unfinished dish, it just scores nothing.
Alright.
I would be fine if people wanted to say, we're going to say everybody gets an equal number of turns.
I would be fine with that.
Okay, so
let's do that.
let's go ahead and let everybody take one more
Okay.
turn.
Okay, I'll keep track of like what
Especially
our score
since
is right now.
this is going to be a funny set of turns because Walker and I are going to try to flip
Yeah.
our crepes and it's going to be a disaster. So,
How many points do you have right now, real quick? Just
11.
Okay. So,
All right.
so then you have
So I just gotta flip this.
15.
Oh, that didn't work.
Seems like that was a fail.
Come on.
Get right out there. Get right out there on camera. Let everybody see that flip.
I did it so many times before.
That's what you get for practicing, Walker.
Oh.
That's what you get.
We'll see. We'll see how you
We'll see how I do.
flip.
Let's see if Sean can finish his dish and get it scored. Okay. Perfect.
I gotta heat it up.
Okay.
So
Good. And
just
then spin that last spoon to heat it up. See if you get enough.
Yep.
Awesome.
Rabbit.
You have cooked rabbit a la king.
Okay.
All right. All right. All right. In full disclosure for everybody who's watching, everybody else practiced this. This is my first crepe flip.
Yes.
Okay.
My first crepe flip. No practice. So, we're going to see how bad this goes, because I think it's going to be disaster. Okay. Yeah, it's key, you gotta kind of swirl it around, right? You gotta make sure you get nice.
Stuck.
Yeah, make sure it's nice and loose. That you've got enough grease in the pan, and then a little. Oh, see, that's just a little test one. That's a little test one,
A little more.
a little pop. Just make sure it's loose. Just make sure it's loose. That's important. Okay. A little more flip in the wrist. I think.
Yeah, it's on the wrist.
Oh, that was close.
So close.
Oh, all right.
Which
my
means
crepe
I
is
beat you by
unfinished.
1 point.
Oh, you suck.
16 points. Thanks to my.
Thanks to your one bonus point. Okay, so if you hadn't had that bonus point, let's check and see. Oh, because I could have rolled just. Oh, I didn't have heat anyway to cook my crepe, so it would have just sat there.
Yeah.
Let's see. If I just rolled 3 times, could I have gotten a cup of coffee? No. I would have just burnt my crepe, probably. Yep, that would have just burnt my crepe.
Torch that.
Oh, a cup of coffee. 1 point. That would have brought us to a tie, and then
perfect dish.
let's see. What are the tiebreakers? Let's find out.
It should be number of perfect
Player with the
dishes.
most victory points is the winner. In case of a tie, all tied players win. Placements of the other players are also calculated by their victory points.
Oh.
How delicious was your a la carte experience?
I think I had the lowest score, so
That's
less than everyone else.
Okay.
If we, the rules tell you to stop playing the game as soon as one of the end game conditions were met, we decided to roll it on.
To give everyone an equal number of actions.
Right.
Yeah.
If we did it by the rules, I had the lowest score. If we did it with everyone getting equal number of turns, I tied for last.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the third most delicious cooking experience, is what we learned there.
Unfortunate. Even though it was the least delicious cooking experience, how did you feel about it overall?
I think it's a pretty unique experience. It's a dexterity game.
Yeah.
It feels like it almost barely qualifies as a dexterity game. It's really... most dexterity games involve you throwing things.
Or flicking things or whatever, and this is just
What?
pick up a thing and...
Yeah.
Or try to flip your pan.
Yeah.
In that case. It's really, really unique in its use of the dexterity mechanics. At least I can't think of any games that use, those kind of motions. That's a very different thing than you usually see in a dexterity game, I'd agree.
And the original game came out in 1989.
Wow.
So, this is they added stuff when they modernized it in the 2000s. So I'm not sure how much of what is in this current edition was in the original, but I think probably some of what you're getting there is that sort of 80s magic of board games where they start to do weird, ridiculous things, and you're like, why do you do this? If you harken back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles board game.
Sure.
Where it's built around flicking a stupid piece of plastic.
Yeah, this stupid little seesaw thing.
Yeah. There's sort of an element of that here.
Sure.
Just it's built around a mechanic of doing this, Someone was sitting around and thought that'd be a fun... It's weird. It feels like it's on the cusp between being a kid's toy and being an adult's game.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I don't know if the playing field is level where kids would do as well as adults. I assume that it is because it's mostly built around rolling a die and just doing this. But maybe the equalizer is the pan flipping thing, which
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure you could put me and an 8-year-old in the same room and be flip this crepe pan, and that 8-year-old might beat me to it, so...
I didn't get a chance to do that in the game because I was just, I was struggling to just accomplish the things, because it seemed like every time I did the spicing, I either got no spice...
It's a very touchy mechanic.
Or I got all the spice.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult to get that perfect amount of tipping it because of the shape of those pieces and how small that opening is. They just clog it up really easily. It's pretty interesting how that just stops you some turns that, I think there were a couple of turns where you and I both, spent 2 of our actions, and both of them, we got no spice out of the spice container, because when we picked it up and turned it over, they just blocked up.
Yeah.
It's something that I am very interested to keep playing and see if that's something that, on more playthroughs, if we have a curve there and we get a lot better at that motion of dropping just what you want out of that container. Or if it continues to always be about that difficult just because of the shape of the pieces and the size of the opening.
So right there, you're going to go ahead and just say this game hinges on the design elements of being, the components being balanced in a way that...
Yeah, I think so.
Intelligent choices were made. And
very thematic choices, too. I don't think that... you said earlier that this game is kind of built around that mechanic. I feel like this is a game that they built probably theme first. They were making a cooking theme, and then they were looking for, okay, what are mechanics that we can put into this cooking theme that would be fun? And somebody said, what if we have, these little pans and these little stoves? And everybody's like, oh, that's great, and, talking about that. And somewhere in there, somebody came up with the idea of, okay, so what things do you do when you cook a thing? You need to turn up the temperature, you need to put on the seasoning, there are all these elements to it. And somehow that boiled down to, okay, the mechanic that we're going to focus on here for this theme is putting the spice on your dish. And I think they nail that in this game.
Okay.
They, just have that really interesting balance of, as nonsensical as it is to have salt mixed in with your lemon and pepper and, as nonsensical as the fact that those are mixed up containers is, the way it works in the game is really fascinating because you are so cautious about, okay, I've got to tip this and just drop just one piece. I just want one of the right color. And then when you get salt and everything else, you're like, oh, crap, well, I'm an idiot. And I think that works really well in this.
Yeah. I guess if I'm going to complain about anything thematically, I would say, because we've been playing, sort of cooking-themed video games recently.
Sure.
And I would say that it doesn't really capture an essence of, sort of panic.
Urgency, and the fact that you're trying to prepare a dish for someone who, wants that thing and it has to be perfect for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think that it's, the only urgency is someone else might just cook better things than you faster.
Or turn up the temperature and burn your food.
Yeah.
There's also kind of a nonsensical element to the game, but, works in the game.
Our explanation was we were just in a janky old diner and, the wiring was bad. So
you turn up one stove and everybody's stove turns up.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
There's nowhere else to make your salad except on one of the burners because it's just such a tiny kitchen.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that it's good and unique. I hesitate to say it's great. I might grow to like it more as I play it more.
How do you feel about using this as an introductory game for people? If you have people who like cooking,
yeah,
and they've never been into board games.
Yeah, I think much like most dexterity games I can think of, it's going to be a case where everyone is bad to start, and that's an equalizer where it's okay, we're all playing this game, and people kind of get engaged with games usually where they have to take an active role in physically doing something.
And likewise, games that have very, very physical, very visceral components like this does, where you have your little kitchen in front of you.
Yeah.
Just pulls you in as a player, even if you aren't someone who plays board games.
Yeah. So I think it probably is decent for that. The problems are it only goes up to 4 players.
Sure.
And that it's hard to find right now. So, it would be oh yeah, this is a great game for you to go out and grab if you're new to board games or want to get other people involved, but you can't because it's just.
But if this saw a reprint,
sure,
this would be way up on my list of games that I would tell people, okay, what things do you like? And if one of the things I knew they like is cooking, telling them, take a look at a la carte, see if that's a game you like.
I would not be surprised if it doesn't get reprinted just because of the components
Definitely.
You know, like the stovetops are just cardboard.
Yeah.
Like they would come in a punch board and you punch them out and then build it. And they've been doing that with other modern games of creating 3D elements that you build once you get them.
Yeah.
But I think that
Like the little pans in particular are...
the pans and the spice jars, I think that they would need to have a sizable demand for it before they go after printing it again in this form.
Sure.
You're right. This is a game that I think I would absolutely recommend to as an introductory game. The expansion that we don't have lets you play up to 5 players. Adds menus, so you have like secret goals of recipes that you're trying to complete.
Sure.
So, you know, I think that maybe that's my feeling about this game is that there's not quite enough there in the base game. And so if someone were to reprint it, I would kind of expect them to incorporate
the expansion components.
Yeah, because I think it needs a bit more going on for me, and maybe that's just like as a person that plays a lot of games, I want there to be more going on. Maybe it's the perfect level for people who don't play a lot of games. It's good.
Yeah. Art-wise, how do you feel about it?
No problem.
Okay.
It's a little weird.
It is. Like some of the dishes are a little strange. The art choices for some of them are pretty weird. Like during the game, I cooked drunken chicken, and it's like a chicken that just doesn't have any feathers on it. Like it's a rooster who has no feathers on him, just laying there with like a bottle of wine next to him. Like it's a really strange, cartoony drawing.
I know someone made a calzone with a stick of dynamite in it.
There's the oxtail, which is pictured here on the side of the box, and I'm looking at, which is literally just a tail on a plate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kind of weird dishes there that are meant to be, obviously are meant to be funny dishes.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of them sell, like how much of that humor comes across during the game.
Right. I think it's fine. I could maybe see someone being upset with like the spaghetti with the axe in it. That's
the
slasher spaghetti.
Slasher spaghetti, yeah.
Okay, that's good, I guess.
It's kind of quirky and weird. Quality on components is all really good. One of the things that we talked about, I don't remember if it was during the game or just after, was realistically, a lot of this you could put together yourself if you really wanted to have a copy of a la carte. You just go get some kids' kitchen play sets, basically, and you'd have the pieces for the ovens and the pans to flip things. So you just have to figure out something for the spice containers, then you just buy some of those generic tokens that are available that are just like that.
Yeah. And if you didn't, you could even remove the crepes from the game, then you don't even need the pan and the stovetop, really. Like, you could just have, written down on a piece of paper or whatever.
Yeah, or just use cubes and have, some little playing area. You could really easily play this without those components if you wanted to. My big point was, it is really hard to find. If it's a game that you watched and you thought it was, amazing, maybe you can just make a set of it without too much difficulty. Get some cards printed for the tokens or whatever, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Anything else before we move on to rating?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I started to say it was a 6.5, and I looked at things that we gave 6.5s to, and I think it's actually better than most of those games, so I guess that's a 7.
Yeah, I was leaning toward this being like a 7.
So that might be more a means of me needing to go through things that are rated 6.5
and start
down.
pulling some things down.
But I think in the average scale, how most people normally rate things, I think a 7 is probably an accurate way to put it. So yeah,
I think that it's well up there in the good category of games that I definitely want to expose more people to. So I am excited about it. That's a la carte. It is delicious. Do you have any last moment thoughts?
I'm hungry.
I am too.